The hidden toll of rushing. Slow down to live better and boost performance. Part 1. The Rush Trap. Why speed doesn't equal productivity. Have you ever stopped to think that, in your rush to do everything fast, you might be running in the wrong direction? Modern life pushes us into a frantic pace, as if being constantly busy equals success. And by the end of the day, you feel like you haven't accomplished anything meaningful. Sound familiar? That sense of always being behind, of never being enough, is a clear sign of poorly managed anxiety. We live in a culture that glorifies speed. The more you do, the better you are. But is that true? Spoiler, it's not. The first practical strategy to break this cycle is simple yet powerful. The 4-second breath. If the answer is no, maybe it's time to eliminate or delegate. Rushing often makes us say yes to everything, but high performance isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters. In the full video, we'll explore the devastating effects of haste on your mental health and how it might be pushing you toward burnout without you realizing it. Want to learn how to protect your mind and live with more balance? Stay with us and don't miss the next part. Before making any big decision, pause for just 4 seconds, inhale deeply through your nose, hold it, and exhale slowly. This brief pause disrupts the anxiety pattern and brings your mind back to the present. Try it now. Inhale, hold, exhale. Feel the difference? This technique is a mental reset you can use anytime, anywhere. Rushing might give you the illusion of efficiency, but more often than not, it leads to rework, impulsive decisions, and a mind so restless it can only react, not create. But what if I told you that this relentless hurry, which you think is productivity, is actually draining your energy, sabotaging your mental health, and keeping you from your true potential? Or finished a task feeling proud, rather than relieved to just check it off. Hurrying disconnects us from ourselves. It makes us ignore that inner voice begging for a pause, craving clarity. And worse, it robs us of the ability to live in the present. Have you noticed how, even when you're busy, your mind is always on the "what's next?" That's the "and then?" syndrome, keeping you trapped in a cycle of anxiety that prevents you from enjoying the moment. Let us dive into this reflection together and uncover how anxiety disguised as haste is shaping your life, often without you noticing. Rushing is like an invisible trap. You wake up, check your phone, reply to messages, race to work, scarf down lunch. Think about it. When was the last time you made an important decision calmly? Here's a phrase to ponder. Rushing is the modern way of running from yourself. When you hurry without direction, you're avoiding looking inward at what truly matters, and that comes at a steep cost. Studies show that people living in a constant state of urgency are 40% more likely to develop depression and sleep disorders. That's because the brain, under relentless pressure, shifts into survival mode, releasing cortisol, the stress hormone, which wears down your body and mind. But don't worry, there's a way out, and it starts with awareness. Another practical step is to start questioning your tasks. Ask yourself, is what I am doing right now moving me closer to my real goals? Comment on what you thought of this reflection, and subscribe to keep exploring a healthier, more purposeful life. Part 2. The Heavy Price of Hurry. How rushing wrecks your mental health. Let's keep unraveling how rushing shapes your life. In the first part, we expose the myth of productive haste, that feeling that constant busyness equals efficiency. Now, let's dig deeper and talk about what this relentless race does to your mental health. Spoiler, the impacts are more serious than you might think, and recognizing them is the first step to taking back control. And that takes a huge emotional toll. How many times have you ended the day exhausted, but unsure why you ran so hard? One practical strategy is to build intentional pauses into your day. No, it's not a waste of time. Think of it as a mental reboot. Try setting aside 2 minutes every hour to close your eyes, breathe deeply, and ask yourself, am I on the right track? This pause can save you from impulsive decisions and help you regain focus. Another powerful tool is a 5-minute morning meditation. Sit in a quiet spot, focus on your breath, and let thoughts flow without judgment. It sounds simple, but it's transformative. This disconnection from yourself is one of the biggest themes of your mental health. Ready to discover how high performers master the balance between action and calm? Stay with us, and don't miss the next part. And worse, it blocks you from tapping into your true potential, that unique spark that only shines when you're present and aligned with your purpose. Living in a rush is like trying to run a marathon at sprint speed. At first, you might feel like you're killing it, but soon, exhaustion sets in. Your mind starts paying the price. Anxiety, often disguised as urgency, triggers chronic stress that wears down both your body and soul. Ever felt that tightness in your chest, like time is swallowing you whole? That's not just a bad day. It's your brain screaming for a break. Research shows that chronic stress from constant rushing increases the risk of depression and sleep disorders by 40%. And it doesn't stop there. It also impairs your memory, creativity, and ability to connect with the people you care about. Another devastating effect is the inability to live in the present. Ever caught yourself doing one thing, but already thinking about the next? That's the "and then" syndrome we mentioned earlier. It steals the joy from small moments. A warm cup of coffee in the morning, a chat with a friend, or even the simple act of breathing calmly. When your mind is always in the future, you're never truly here. And that creates an emotional void that, over time, can lead to silent burnout. Ever heard of it? It's when you keep up high productivity on the outside, but inside, your quality of life is practically zero. You work, deliver, smile, but something feels broken. Let's be real. Rushing puts you on autopilot. You react to external demands without thinking, without feeling, without truly choosing. But here's the good news. You can shift this pattern, and it doesn't take a massive overhaul. In the full video, we'll dive into why rushing doesn't equal performance and how you can start performing with more intelligence, presence, and consistency. Like, comment on how rushing affects your mental health, and subscribe for more transformative content. Part 3. Rush versus Results. Unlocking Mindful High Performance. Let's keep exploring the impact of rushing on our lives. In the last part, we uncovered how constant haste harms your mental health, causing chronic stress, an inability to stay present, and silent burnout. How many times have you rushed through a project only to realize it could be even better with a bit more calm? Hurrying often leads to mediocre results, because a restless mind doesn't create, it just delivers. High performance, on the other hand, requires clarity. Too often, we confuse quantity with quality. High performance isn't about checking off 1,000 tasks. It's about doing the right things with consistency, and for all, and build a life with more balance, energy, and meaning. Want to learn how to transform your routine and live with more intention? Stay with us and don't miss the next part. Before starting your day, ask, what are the 3 tasks that will truly move me closer to my goals? Focus on those and save the rest for later. This clarity reduces anxiety and helps you work with more purpose. It's about being present in what you do, making conscious decisions, and executing with intention. High performers aren't the ones who run the fastest. They're the ones who know when to push and, more importantly, when to pause. Now, it's time to debunk a dangerous belief that going faster means performing better. They plan, pace themselves, and choose the right moments to give their all. Life's the same way. If you're always in turbo mode, you'll burn out, delivering results below your potential. True performance comes from a calm mind that sees the path clearly and acts with purpose. And the best part? You don't need a complete life overhaul to get there. Small tweaks to your routine can make a massive difference. Spoiler: high performance has nothing to do with breakneck speed. This calms your nervous system and brings you back to the present, where the best decisions happen. Another great tool is the Pomodoro technique. Used mindfully, work for 25 minutes with total focus, no distractions, then take a 5-minute break. During that break, stand up, breathe, look into the distance. These moments of rest aren't a luxury. They're fuel for your mind to perform better. Let's find out how presence, focus, and consistency can transform the way you act and live. Society has sold us the idea that doing more equals doing better. But have you ever thought about the cost? Picture an elite athlete. They don't run a marathon at sprint speed. One practical technique is the 4-second breath we mentioned earlier. Before any big decision, pause, inhale for 4 seconds, hold it, and exhale slowly. Another key is redefining what productivity means to you. In the full video, we'll dive into practical strategies to break the cycle of rushing once. Like, comment on how you define productivity, and subscribe for more tips on balance and high performance. Part 4. Slow down to thrive. Practical steps for a purposeful life. Let's keep moving toward a life free from the chaos of rushing. In the previous parts, we debunked the myth of productive haste, showed how it harms your mental health, and explained why high performance is about presence, not speed. You know that endless to-do list that never seems to shrink? It's time to filter it. Every morning, grab a piece of paper or your phone, sit in a quiet spot, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. This mindset keeps you trapped in the endless race of rushing. Start today, with one small step, to build a rhythm that honors you. Let's build a life with more meaning and less chaos together. In the full video, we dive into how to sustain this balance long term. But for now, here's a challenge. Which strategy will you try first? The purpose-driven schedule, intentional pauses, or the 5-minute meditation? Comment below and share how rushing has affected your life. Your story might inspire others. Replace it with, those who act with intention grow with consistency. To reinforce this, try the Pomodoro technique with a twist. During your 25 minutes of focus, turn off all notifications. And during the 5-minute breaks, skip the phone. Use those moments to stretch, drink water, or just breathe. This approach helps you slow down without losing productivity, keeping your energy high and your mind clear. If your mind wanders, that's okay, just bring it back. This simple practice reduces anxiety, boosts focus, and sets you up for a more balanced day. Studies show that just 5 minutes of daily meditation can lower cortisol levels, the stress hormone, by up to 20%. It's a small habit with a massive impact. And write down just 3 priorities that truly move you closer to your bigger goals. These could be work-related, health-focused, or even about emotional well-being, like spending quality time with loved ones. The key is to focus on what matters and say no to what doesn't. This isn't selfishness, it's self-care. When you cut out the unnecessary, you make room for what truly makes your life shine. Now, it's time to put it all into action with simple, transformative strategies you can start using today to reclaim control of your time, energy, and life. The first strategy is creating a purpose-driven schedule. Stop filling your day with tasks that lead nowhere. Another powerful practice is weaving intentional pauses into your routine. We've mentioned this before, but it's worth repeating. Pauses aren't a waste of time, they're an investment in mental clarity. Try setting aside 5 minutes every 2 hours to disconnect. Turn off your phone, close your eyes, breathe deeply, or just take in your surroundings. This pause is like hitting the reset button on your brain, helping you come back more focused and less anxious. If it feels tough, start with 1 minute and build from there. You'll be amazed at how much this recharges your energy. How about trying a 5-minute morning meditation? It doesn't have to be complicated. Finally, it's time to rewrite a limiting belief. The fastest worker wins. Rushing is pulling you away from the life you deserve, one filled with balance, purpose, and energy. Like, share this video with someone who needs to slow down, and subscribe for more content on mental health, high performance, and emotional balance.